Okay, these are our notes on minerals. What do all minerals have in common? All are formed by natural processes. They are not alive and never were. They have a definite volume and shape, meaning they're solids. Are elements or compounds with unique chemical makeup. So the periodic table that we've talked about before, you will find elements in minerals. And the last one is that they are made up of particles that are arranged in a pattern that is repeated over and over, and they make crystals. How do minerals form? Well, they're formed by the cooling of magma, which is hot liquid rock and minerals inside the earth from the mantle. If they cool fast, there's no crystals that you see. If they cool kind of medium pace, they form some smaller crystals. And if they cool very slowly, they form large crystals. Okay? And here's an example of some with large crystals. Another way that they form is by dissolving in liquids, usually in water. Okay, some physical properties of minerals. They can be identified by their color, but sometimes the color can be misleading. Okay, sometimes you get an impurity in the mineral which causes it to be a little bit of a different color. So color is kind of a hard one to use, but color can be a property to be used to identify a mineral. Luster is another one. Okay, luster is the surface's reflection. Okay, types of luster would be metallic, that's when they're shiny, like a metal. Non-metallic would be like a dull, not shiny surface. Okay, so if we're looking at this pyrite, it has a metallic luster because you can see it's very shiny. Calcite has a less metallic luster than the pyrite. That would be more of a silky luster. It's still got a little bit of a shine to it, but it's not as much as the pyrite. Streak is another thing that can be used to classify a mineral. If you look at, or what streak is the color of the powder that's left behind from the mineral when you scrape it across a white tile. So this mineral was drug across, and that's the line that it left. Okay, these are streaks. Those colors can be used to identify what they are. The color can be different than the mineral. So like this one's a darker color, but look at its streak. Okay, it's very different. Minerals must be softer than the streak plate to be able to work. Okay, if it's harder than the streak plate, then it's just going to scratch the streak plate. It's not going to leave behind a streak. But streaks can be used to identify. Streak can help identify quartz. Okay, you've got different kinds of quartz. You've got pure quartz, it's clear, smoky quartz, it's black, amethyst is purple, and aventurine is green. Okay, but quartz always leaves a white streak. Okay, all of these are quartz, but they all leave a white streak because they're all quartz. Another physical property that can be used to identify them is hardness. How easily a mineral scratches a material is its hardness. Okay, and we use a Mohs hardness scale to help us identify them. It's scaled from 1 to 10, 1 being the softest and 10 being the hardest. And what you'll do is test to see if the mineral can scratch different objects. Like a human fingernail. Can the human fingernail scratch the mineral? Can a copper penny scratch the mineral, or does the mineral scratch the penny? Glass, steel file, those are things that you would test. And if you look at the Mohs hardness scale, the softest mineral is talc. Talc can be scratched by fingernail and also by gypsum. Both gypsum and talc would be scratched by a fingernail. Calcite, fluorite, and apatite could be scratched by glass and a steel knife. Feldspar, quartz, topaz, corundum, and diamond are all harder than glass or a steel knife. So any of these would scratch glass or a steel knife. Diamond is the hardest mineral. Diamond would scratch all of these. Okay, some physical properties of a mineral is its cleavage and fracture. Cleavage is the way that it breaks. Cleavage means that it breaks in a smooth, flat surface, okay, and it, like in sheets. Fracture means that it breaks with a random rough or jagged edge. Okay, so this would be an example here as cleavage that breaks off in flat sheets. A fracture would be more like this here, where it's breaking off in different pieces. Okay, it's not nice and flat. Okay, so this one, do you think it would have cleavage or that it would have fracture? Okay, and the answer is that this would have cleavage. It would break off in nice flat pieces. This one here, cleavage or fracture. It's going to have fracture, because I know it's nice and smooth, but it's not breaking off in nice, neat sheets. Okay, same with 3. This one's going to have fracture, because it's not breaking off in nice, neat sheets. Same with number 4, okay? It's going to have fracture, not nice, flat pieces. Some other properties that minerals could have, some special properties, would be that they would be magnetic. They would conduct electricity. They glow under ultraviolet light. And they have a smell or a taste. Okay, now remember, tasting is not something we will be doing. Okay, you do not taste a mineral. Okay, make sure that you have all the blanks filled out on your notes and come to me with any questions that you have.